Hey everyone, it's Tom here. I've gone live again. It's great to be here. I'll just make sure everything's working again because I am still new to this. So I want to make sure we're all connected and that I can be heard and seen and all of that kind of good stuff. Just the essential stuff to make sure communication is possible. So I'll just ensure that's all going well. And if you can hear me and see me and it's all working, just leave me a comment if that is working. And I'll assume it is. So today I wanted to hop on and sort of deliver a message and an update and some themes that you may speak about, some themes you may be experiencing in your life right now. Certainly that I've been experiencing in my life. So I know if one of us tends to be going through such things, then all of us tend to be, because we're all connected. And so really, where to begin? Well, I call this your life has a higher purpose, a divine purpose, and that's really true. If you're watching my channel, you're no doubt a light worker soul, an awakening soul, and therefore you're into spirituality, you're into healing, you're into a manifestation and expanding your awareness of who you really are and merging your experience back into oneness with the source. And so if you're resonating with this channel, then you are what I am catering this, who I am catering this message to. And your life has a higher purpose. It really does. And no matter what you're going through, what I really want to say is that amazing things await you. They really do. And you're destined to live a life that is in alignment with what your soul actually wants, to create the life you want, to experience the purpose you want to experience, and to have the abundance come in and the relationships come in, etc. All of this is something that's inevitable for you. And that's why there are challenging times usually before such things come into place. And hi Joelle, it's great to see you. Thank you for being here. But it's really important to stay connected to this sense that your life has a higher purpose, because that's what moves us through the challenging times, right? I remember when I was starting up my channel and launching my business, I experienced a lot of fear, a lot of pain, etc. Starting it up, and then it led to something really worthwhile. And so it's really important to stay connected to that sense that, that your life has a higher purpose. Because when we do stay connected to that, it lightens us up inside, and we become really inspired by the sense that everything's working out for us, no matter how things seem right now. And the way you know that you're on your path of your highest purpose and you're moving towards experiencing whatever you want to create is that you'll be feeling a lot of fear, doubt, and pain. Even for me to this day, I often get experiences of doubt, fear, and inner pain, but I know they're a good thing right now. I know they're... Hi Monica, how are you going? I know that they're a real sign of progress. And so, yeah. So the chat's just popping up. So your life has a higher purpose, and you're moving into experiencing that life that you want. That's what's happening to all the light workers on earth right now. But in the process, lots of pain has to arise, lots of fear has to arise, and lots of doubt has to arise. And that's because in moving into the reality you want to create, things need to come up from within you to be healed and released and merged back into the light. And what happens with us as we're moving towards manifesting, creating something that we want, is that we can often feel like we're repeating patterns and that we're blocked, and that if we're feeling fear or if we're feeling inner pain or anything like that, that we're doing something wrong. But what is really powerful to know is that you can never repeat a pattern in your life, and that the life circumstances that you're experiencing, no matter how they seem, always have a new dimension to them. I mean, you're healing something even more deeply than ever before. For example, for me in my own life, I have been obviously getting on YouTube, putting myself out there, and I've been doing that for a while. And in the beginning, that was a scary process, right? And then as I sort of got used to that, it became more familiar. But then, even to this day, the blocks come up, doubts come up, fears come up as you put yourself out there to express your truth. That's something that's common with all of us. But it was really interesting because what I experienced in the most recent time I went on YouTube to film a video was that I experienced this pain within. And this is the kind of pain or the fear or the doubts you may be experiencing in your own life. Something comes alive within your being, and then you wonder what it is. Am I just repeating a pattern? What's at the bottom of this? I thought I kind of moved past this, or I want to move past this into alignment and to experience my best life. And that's what kind of arose within me. And I had to go into this pain, and I had to investigate what it was. And it was really interesting because as I went into this pain, I was kind of wondering, why do I feel afraid? Why do I feel this pain? What came to me was that it was actually connected not only to some inner child work and themes, but actually I heard a voice chime in that was from what seemed to be a past life. And it said, this is a theme that some light workers will resonate with when expressing their truth. But this voice told me that I was killed in a past life. And it says, I'm so afraid of being killed again for shining, for expressing my truth, for moving into the reality that I want to experience and create. And I was quite surprised by that because I'd never encountered this voice, this aspect within my own consciousness. And it seemed to be a very powerful part of me that I'd never witnessed before. And so what did I do? Well, firstly, I took it as a sign of expansion and a really amazing reward for how I'm expanding in my life. Because as we expand our light, as I said, the awareness of our soul, we expand it, it draws more deeply into all the crevices within our soul where any hidden layers remain, or any darkness might be there. And the darkness isn't a scary thing like it's lurking. It's actually just wounded parts of ourselves that we can actually escort into the light to make us all feel safe and aligned, and then we can move forward in our current life and create the things we want. So I actually had to go into this pain. I heard this voice and it just repeatedly told me, I'm afraid of being killed again and again. I just heard that and I just held space for that. And it was a very unique experience, but I asked the voice, I said, well, this part of me from perhaps a past life, it very strongly felt like that. I said, what do you need to heal? And it said, just to listen. Just for someone to listen to me. And so I love a good listen, right? So I was like, oh, I'll be here for you. Tell me as much as you like, whatever you're afraid of, whatever you were pained in that life, or whatever you went through, and I'll listen to every last word until you feel aligned. Take your absolute time. And something in me sending that thought back to this part of me, connected to a past life, immediately created this opening and this deep healing. And what came about in the subsequent days after that was just an expansion forward, and then an alignment into my purpose here on earth. And so this is what's going to happen for you, is that as we are expanding, be that towards a relationship, be that towards a dream career that you want to create, putting yourself out there with your purpose, or be that towards anything that's thrusting you into the unknown and you're extremely excited about this, but also a bit timid and scared along the way because it is the unknown. As we approach this is when we meet these parts of ourselves from our childhood, from our past, these pains, these fears, these doubts, this inner state of friction that we are in. But it is a good sign. And all you have to know is that it is a good sign. And to embrace that part of you like it is a dear friend, like it is a loved one, because it truly is. And then as we do, that part of us kind of comes into alignment, and then we spring forth into our highest destiny. The next chapter of it opens up for us. And you then see that, oh, my life is having higher purpose, of anchoring the light within myself and of moving into the reality I wish to celebrate and experience for the well-being of all, that encourages others to do the same. And together we keep walking ourselves into that light. So hopefully this is making sense and is reassuring you. I'll just have a look at some of the comments. I see some coming up. Hi Chris, thank you for being here. Hi RS, how you going? It's great to see you. Hi Iris, how you going? You're currently experiencing exactly what I'm talking about. That's amazing. Hi Helen. So Helen's a past life hypnotherapist. This is a running theme for lightworkers. It really is, isn't it? It really is, because the reason why, every soul here has a beautiful divine purpose. But when I'm specifically saying that, I'm really talking to you if you are resonating with being that lightworker soul. Not to say that we're better or different to other humans or anything like that, because everyone is a lightworker. But I'm talking about someone that's actively participating in their awakening now, in their healing now, and is aware of the Great Awakening and is aware of the spiritual dimension within them. And the reason you really do have a higher purpose is because the breadth and extent of and power of what you're actually doing here on earth is truly extraordinary. And that's why it can be so challenging, and it can be so deep sometimes in your experience, both the highs and lows, is because you signed up for this, because you can handle this, because you took more of a load coming into this incarnation on planet Earth, and you said, I'm going to sign up to really deeply heal and make peace with so much a density within the soul and within the planet, and I'm going to be a beacon that purifies that all and discover my power and how I can purify just by existing. That's ultimately how powerful light workers can be. When we become more activated, we just exist, and the light we are so anchored in, it just transmutes everything around us, and both within us and around us, for everyone to move into that space of awakening and oneness. So your life really has a higher purpose, and the degree to which you are experiencing external challenges around you and inner challenges of healing is the extent to which you are being ushered into your divine purpose. And you thus will be rewarded with that divine purpose coming true. And the life around you will just reflect that back to you more and more, to reward you for your courage and reward you for your vision and that deep intuition that your life does have a purpose here. And I want to say that you are touching untold lives right now. And so many people are inspired by you that you may never even know about. And it's really important to hear that praise about yourself. And you go, oh, who, me? He's not talking about me, but I am. Because on a subconscious level, your existence is very influential. And so you deserve that encouragement to know that your life does have a higher purpose, that we are processing extreme themes of pain sometimes, fear sometimes, doubt, whatever it is, heartbreak, anything. But that really is a sign of you moving into your the life that you want in all ways. So Monica says, thank you for the encouragement for me moving forward to my destiny. You're welcome, Monica. And I am says, will I be able to watch this later? Yes, it should be able to update. Yes. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will answer them as well. And I really appreciate everyone for being here. I'm reading the comments now. It's great to see you, Joelle. I remember our session together, a couple of sessions together. I hope you're doing really well. Mm. Thank you so much for the comments. All right, Helen asks, do you listen to Abraham Hicks, and are you able to give advice on staying in the vortex, as she calls it? Yeah, this is a great question. So Abraham Hicks, yes, I listen to Esther Channel Abraham, and have for many years, and I'm a big fan of them as a team, if you will, for sure. And I actually had a video where I listened to for a while a short 5-minute tape getting you into alignment that was done by Abraham Hicks, and I found it actually attracted a lot of abundance into my life. I may leave that in the description if you want to check that out, but it was a beautiful affirmation tape, and this really amazing energy that the Abraham Hicks recordings bring into your life, and it will start creating really positive shifts just by you listening to something once a day. And I like listening to ones centered around affirmations by them, so it's really great. So getting into the vortex, let's see how I describe that. This is the one thing that I don't resonate as strongly with Abraham Hicks. Not to criticize them in any way, because they're doing such a profoundly positive service is in this world for us all. But one thing I don't resonate is the terminology. So vortex, I would never use that. I would use alignment, but it means the same thing for me. So vortex is getting into that space of alignment within yourself. And so what that really about for me is to know that you are, that infinite possibilities exist for you, that you can have the life you want, you can create the life you want, that you are a powerful divine soul, an extension of the source, and that no matter how things seem and appear around you, it's okay. It's okay, and that you can move into this space of infinite possibility bit by bit by bit and create what you want in your life. So that's one part of alignment, just absorbing these really powerful belief systems that align with the 5D reality, or the awakened reality of the new earth, in which we all recognize our divine essence and our oneness with the source. So that's part of it, is gently at your own pace believing, downloading these beliefs, being around these beliefs of possibility and hope and abundance and joy and excitement. And the second part of alignment is, if there's any parts of you that are triggered by that sense, that doesn't believe that at all, feels like they're missing out on something, that they could have been in alignment earlier, is judging themselves for not being in alignment, is scared of actually being in alignment and moving forward. Whatever parts of you that come up when I'm telling you those more expansive beliefs, it's to know that those parts of you are okay. So deeply okay. And they're not going to ruin your life, and they're not going to ruin anything. They're actually a sign of healing taking place right within your awareness before your very eyes. And so the other part of getting into the vortex, or that space of alignment, is to know that you, how would I say, can only get this experience right, and that you're safe to be you, and that you just need to place your awareness over these parts of you and really do nothing else but soothe them. And they will quieten down, they will align, and they will feel supported by you. And then again, that unity takes place within yourself, and then you can move forward into the reality you want to create, whilst living in the now more and more into that exquisite space of alignment, which is what the vortex is. And of course, you can get into the vortex in any way by connecting with teachers or teachings like Abraham Hicks that are just kind of externalized outside support for this process of you shifting your belief system, raising your energy and frequency, and also feeling safe within yourself, no matter how you're experiencing life, reacting to life, or anything in between. So that's the answer to that. Let's have a look. Joelle says she is well. Well, that makes me very happy. It's great to have you here. Chris says your energy is in tune with the cosmos, and you have ascended and become who you are. That's very nice. My immediate reaction, and this is why I say we're all in this together, is to actually feel not quite in alignment with that truth either, and say, she thinks I've ascended. This is the voice within me goes, I'm not ascended. I've got so much to go. But I really appreciate that compliment. And it can just go to show that we're all working on these patterns of doubting our own light, and that's okay. See, that doesn't concern me whatsoever. That there is a sense that ascension is such an amazing, infinite journey, and I feel like I'm in spiritual kindergarten quite a bit. And I experience all the things that everyone experiences. But the one thing I can say is that I do compliment myself for my courage to put myself out there and to be the light no matter what, no matter how afraid or how challenging it is. That's the one thing that I can say I do have strongly, and that has helped me align in great ways. So thank you, Chris. I really appreciate that. Joel says, yeah, I remember that. Because in Australia, we call, so Joelle and I had a session once, and her dog came in, and it was this little, what we call in Australia, sausage dogs. And she said, my wiener. And that has a different meaning in Australia. Perhaps you can guess what the different meaning is. And she said something about her wiener is in the way, and I sort of went, what? And we had a good laugh over that, and we realized the translation meant sausage dog, and then we greeted the dog, and that was a fun experience. Oh, that was funny. I always love the Australian slang and the differences with slightly other English-speaking countries like the United Kingdom or States, and we just have slightly different translations sometimes for words. It's quite funny. Let's have a look at the other comments. That's an amazing intention, Super Kami. I just read your comment, that's great. Yeah. So Ulysses says, gorgeous synchronicity. I've been working on embedding some new truths into my subconscious, and it feels like there are energetic hooks that are holding me to my past self, patience and love forward. So those are the energetic hooks, are the genuine parts of ourselves that may feel afraid of actually experiencing new truths and thus a new reality. And so that's actually an amazing thing when you think about it. So it's really to realize it's not the fact that I can't expand. This is how I see it, at least. So this may trigger you if it doesn't resonate, and that's okay. Every truth, if it's true for you, is true for you, and I embrace whatever resonates with you. But the way I see it is, it's actually an amazing sign if I feel blocked when I'm trying to believe new things about myself and put myself into alignment to manifest new realities. Because it means that it's not that I can't have the life I want and move into the reality I want and alignment I want more and more and more. It's not that. It's just that a part of me is afraid of that or is blocked to doing that, which is a whole different way of looking at it, as opposed to, I can't do this, I think it might not be possible for me, I'm destined to have a life I don't want, and I'm blocked as well on top of that. But it's not that, it's I actually feel like these new beliefs I can download into my subconscious mind to shift my being are actually a little bit too much for me right now, and I need to heal and align and expand and address whatever part of me is hooked back to my past self that is still stepping into that alignment and is a little bit tentative. So that's actually a really beautiful thing. So you'll take that time, you'll love yourself, which is all about what I'm all about. If you haven't realized, I talk a lot about alignment because it really truly is about energy, above and beyond anything else really. The energy you're in, and love is the highest healing force and the ultimate truth of who and what we are. So I'll always talk about that love, but that love, that patience, you will get answers to those inner hooks. Those hooks will be set free. And then what you can accept into your belief system, and thus what you can experience in reality, will be a beautiful aligned reward for that shift within yourself. So there you go. So NJ asks, if you don't mind me asking, in more depth, what are your thoughts about death? Ah, yes, that's a, a light question, right? Now, thank you for the question. Mm. If I close my eyes, everyone, I'm just connecting to my intuition. It just helps me focus. I'm not falling asleep. In case you didn't know, it's the morning time in Melbourne, so there's lots of day left for me to live today. Mm. Mm. So my thoughts about death, well firstly, death has a strong connotation for a lot of us and can bring up a lot of fear, and that's okay. To be quite honest, there is probably still some of that energy of fear towards death in me. I mean, trying to be brutally honest, I don't feel it right now, but I'm always willing to be humble at the when facing big themes in the human experience. So wherever you are at in your relationship to death, be that it's overwhelming, be that you're actually quite excited by it because you believe you're a soul that extends beyond into a beautiful dimension, and that you're just temporarily here on earth as a soul to just celebrate and experience the richness of this interesting life experience on earth, and you feel quite good about death. Well then, no matter where you are, it's okay. The way I have experienced death before is often what I feel is when you go beyond fear. So when our awareness is more in ego, the density of ego, which is not a bad thing, by the way, we tend to be run by fearful program beliefs, right? And a lot of these are about death, fearing death as bad. I don't want to die. And obviously this relates to our survival on an evolutionary level, etc. But when we get more into the spiritual path, we eventually, within things like meditation, get to a point where we can gently go beyond, take that leap into the unknown, beyond the mind, beyond the fear. And this is something that when it happens, you realize that you kind of let go of a limited identity and it feels like a death is happening, but then you immediately are stepped forward and embraced by a higher love. And in that moment that you step beyond quote unquote death, which is beyond the egoic conditioning of the mind, into something beyond that, which is the awareness of the soul that you are, the soul consciousness you are, you step into that dimension to whatever extent, immediately there's a healing force. At least for me, it's a radiant, ecstatic healing force that shines in and says, you know what, I'm so proud of you for stepping beyond the ultimate fear that we have as humans. I'm so proud of you, and here's the love. Here's the infinite love of who you really are. It graces you with that, and immediately you feel a profound healing. And then you can kind of come back into your normal level of awareness of everyday thoughts, etc. And then the fear might still be there because we just bite it off in little bite-sized chunks. We never have to be rushed about this. But we come back into our human awareness and somehow we feel more healed about death. We feel we've seen glimpsed beyond death. And then we often are graced with material about death and about the life of the soul outside of the human dimension. We also hear about things like plant medicine experiences and all this kind of stuff where people have these amazing experiences where they go beyond and they go into the spirit world, and it all starts to support this idea that I don't think death is real. It's not as real as it seems, and life is the only thing there is in one form or another, and that tends to be what I think about it right now. Of course, I've been deeply humbled by life, and therefore I'll never, maybe not say never, maybe I will have the confidence to say I've very much healed fully and experienced what it means to go fully into peace with the idea of death. Maybe that is a journey. Maybe that's what true enlightenment and awakening is. But right now I can just speak from my experiences of glimpses beyond that into that more eternal spiritual dimension. And that has deeply, deeply healed me and assured me that there's something beyond this life, and that thing is love, and that's what we are. And that's why we're here, to forget about that and then to remember that in the human form. And that's really as I see, the general theme that we all experience in our life as we create and express our most amazing lives. Okay, I've got a few questions here. Thank you, Helen. Is using the knowledge through music a good idea since I'm an artist? I'm not sure what you mean by that question, using knowledge. If you could elaborate on that, super Kami, that would be very helpful. If the question is anything about music being a good idea, I would have to say a resounding yes, because music is just one of the most beautiful things in this experience that we're blessed to have. I love music with an absolute passion. And of course, you've got to find the right music that resonates with you, and it has to make you feel, well, at least for me, I want music that uplifts me. It makes me feel good and connected and inspired and anything positive. But if that is for you, whatever genre, whatever song, by all means, listen to that and realize it's shifting you in that moment. Therefore, better things are going to manifest. You can even approach music in a conscious way to say, if this is making me feel good, this is a really powerful act of self-love and empowerment in and of itself, and then enjoy music. Wow. And you'll notice that it makes the whole thing more powerful in that process. Okay, so he's elaborated here. I mean, rapping, singing, and playing saxophone. I use that in a good way because many rappers aren't so positive, and that's why I ask why. It's funny because, sometimes I can be in a high vibration and put on a bit of a rap song, and that probably isn't that high vibrational based on the words they use, the themes of the song, but it can still raise me up, which is an interesting experience, not just me being honest. And sometimes it pumps me up and that type of thing. I don't typically listen to genres or rather songs within genres that have dense themes, because I don't want any density in my life as much as possible, because the world is feeding you enough of that as it is. So I try to introduce only quality high vibrational sources into my life to boost me up, and that's just what I need, quite frankly. Otherwise I can get quite overwhelmed very easily. But when it comes to rap, well, rap is just the use of words. Words are just certain vibrational energetic forms, right? They have no inherent quality to them other than the quality you imbue within the words. So you could be an enlightened master in the highest alignment, and you could rap like 50 Cent, right? But if your energy and the words you're using to convey inner experiences and beliefs that you have about life and your own soul's creative uniqueness, and you use words to express what's within you, then rappers are what you make of it, and will be received in that way. And I actually do see a lot of rap actually having conscious themes about self-love, themes about spirituality in them more and more, and it's a beautiful thing. But really, you're free to express yourself in any way, with what any method resonates for you. And something good will come of that if you just trust yourself, and you just trust the light within you will be anchored within that. And then go forth and set yourself free and share your gifts to the world, because we all want to receive them, and it's going to help someone more than you probably ever realize. So go forth, and if you want to do rap, do it. If you want to rap while playing sax, now I'm about to rap, you go for it, and the vibrational essence of who you are will shine through everything. So Chris says, the source is the center of everything, and we see it as we choose, which is why I resonate with it as Aphrodite and the Greek gods. But we all resonate with the song in our own way, with songs in our own way. That's awesome. I have to say, I need to learn more about Aphrodite and Greek gods. I studied them when I did philosophy in university. We learned a little bit about the ancient Greek culture and things like that, but can't say I've seen much before. Oh, there's Kim's there. Oh, that warms me up. If you don't know Kim from Intuitive View, you've got to check out her channel, because she has some of the most beautiful energy and warmth there is that I've come across, and her channel is such a beautiful space of light, and very informative as well as what's happening around the world. And I've actually watched her. She probably hasn't realized that I haven't commented, but I've been watching some of her stuff, and I just think she's doing an amazing job. And I've also got to now plug myself, I've also got a little bit of a talk that I did with her a few months back on her channel as well that you can check out. So Kim said, there's an intense desire to do something when you see the world in turmoil. How do you use your practice to avoid feeling helpless in a tumultuous world? Sometimes I'm really overwhelmed by the world and I don't know what to do about it, and I burst into tears. And it helps. It helps. So that's an honest answer. It's to the way that I honestly do it is for firstly to intend to experience something beyond the world. If you have that within your heart, eventually reality unfolds in such a way that it brings your soul beyond the world. And as I spoke about with experiences of going beyond death, when that happens, immediately there's another contextualization that you're offered. And it's like you're, say you're looking at the world and looking at all the things going around, and it's so overwhelming, and I agree with that, and that desire to help is actually a beautiful intention. And it's there's nothing wrong with it really. But we're watching the channel planet Earth like this. But then when we intend to have something, a different spiritual experience, it's like we unplug from channel Earth and we look around, we realize there's a whole other thing happening on. And when you unplug from channel Earth, it's not that you're trying to bypass the Earth or say there's no problems or go into a bubble to kind of, as I said, bypass the problems. It's not that. It's just that you're intuiting there's something beyond this realm, this dimension, that when I become in contact with it, it's going to heal me and allow me to serve the world in a more aligned way that resonates for me. So as you intend for that to happen, you go into things like meditation, you pull up, and then you're surrounded into a different channel. I call it channel source. You move from channel world into channel source. And it turns out there's a whole other thing going on, and it radiates in a knowingness that everything's okay. Everything's going to be okay with what's happening on the earth, and the souls that exist beyond the earth, and that we come here just temporarily, and that what seems like the worst things happening in the world, and they really do seem that way. I'm not trying to dismiss it at all. Things we see around the world, it's very heartbreaking to witness, but somehow having that knowing that there's something of an eternal quality and power beyond that's unimaginably beautiful and supporting and healing, and actually getting a taste of that by intending for it to happen, it graces you in, and you're able to look at the world and see it with that energy coming in, with also your passion to help. And if you bring that, then there's a knowingness that we're all going to be okay. And just like a droplet comes out of the ocean, this is like our life as a soul. It comes up and it's temporarily so beautifully real in a way, but the ocean pulls up that drop, and that's like we're this soul that's temporarily a seemingly separate entity as this water droplet, and then it rises through the air, it forms its peak, and it does whatever it's going to do, glimmers in the sunlight, and then it comes back down, and then it merges back into the ocean. And what I'm trying to convey to you is just try to imagine the difference between the drop and the ocean. So imagine that the source is this ocean, this ocean of love and forgiveness and perfection, and imagine feeling like you dissolve back into that before you then come back up into being that beautiful droplet you are. If you know that that everyone's going to land within this ocean, it helps. It helps you see it as all a divine plan that has to be the way it is, karmically, for whatever other reason, and sometimes we don't need to understand what it is, but just knowing that it's part of a divine plan, and having glimpsed the perfection of that plan allows you to then come back in and help. Now I'm saying this, and I'm still saying to you, quite frankly, I get overwhelmed by the world all the time. And so I'm doing my best every day to anchor in that light of oneness, and to hopefully admit that to the world, because I feel that that's one of the most powerful forces, is to reassure people something else is beyond this and we're going to make it through. And that's really my answer. And then we just have to live, and we signed up, and it's sometimes very tough and brutal and tumultuous, as we said. I mean, imagine the ocean bringing up all those droplets at once. Tumultuous things happen, chaotic things happen. But it doesn't change the fact that we aren't the ocean of beneath all of that, and that's what I try and anchor in and be reminded of as much as possible. And then I go out to the world and just do my best to be that expression. That's all we can do. Tom, your energy is so strong, I can feel it all the way from Scotland. And yes, love is the way. I wish happiness. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate that. Perhaps Scotland and Melbourne are actually, there's no distance whatsoever. That's what the quantum field shows us, isn't it? We're all absolutely right there and connected. Thanks, Kim. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Edmund and Super Kami, and of course, Kim, thank you so much for being here. I wonder how long I've been talking, because I love happy. Thank you for the love hearts. So I've been talking for about 40 minutes. So if there's anyone has any final questions, I might take that now. And if not, I really thank you for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm just going to hop on these lives and share things just kind of off the cuff, which is why it kind of may seem a little bit random and all over the place, but just as a way to connect with you more frequently. And that's really meaningful to my soul. That feels what my soul is called to do. So I'm doing my best to honor that. And anyway, thank you for being here. I really appreciate your presence on my channel and in this community. Stay tuned to more things coming. Like this video, leave me a comment. I love hearing from you. And subscribe. And don't forget to get the free reality shift cheat sheet, which is an awakening resource I have that that you can use to heal and to find new information about awakening, about spirituality. You can get that for free, and I put that together, and there's some amazing stuff in that. And also, don't forget to check out my one-on-one coaching. It's quite a busy time at the moment. Lots of sessions are happening, and that's amazing because there's a lot of energetic shifts and healings taking place. But if you do feel called to have a one-on-one session for me, you can just check the link in the description below and book that, or submit a coaching application for ongoing coaching, and I'll get back to you when I can, and we can help you sort of align within yourself, awaken parts of your soul into the expression you want to shine for the world, and to create the life, manifest the things you want. All of that is something that happens within coaching, so you can check that out too. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Alicia, for your beautiful, kind words. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you, Kim. Blessings back to you. Thank you, Joelle, and thank you, Chris. Have a lovely rest of your day, wherever you are around the world, everyone. Thank you so much. And I'll see you all soon. Bye.